Hello, my name is Roundabout, or Fuego Salsa, or Hot Sauce, or whatever. This is a Black Panther guide, just a sort of basic thing to help you get on your feet, learn Black Panther, all that stuff. I have just under 70 hours on Black Panther. I play him competitively, and I'd say I know what I'm doing with him. So let's just get this out of the way. Let's get this started. Vibranium Spears. See right here, they add something called a Vibranium Mark. Vibranium marks can be highlighted, and you can see them through walls as well, which is very useful. So if someone's moving around, you'll be able to know where they are at all times. Vibranium marks allow your abilities, like your dash, to be refreshed. Your dash is your main form of damage. Against a 275 HP hero, it does about 3 bars. Like I said, your dash can be refreshed with a Vibranium mark. So as long as there's a mark, you can dash again, but you have to hit that dash. Once the mark is activated, much like a spider tracer, instead of it dealing extra damage, your dash is refreshed. Your kick, a slow startup, but it also adds a Vibranium mark, which allows you to refresh your dash. Finally, your ultimate adds a Vibranium mark to all who are hit by it and refreshes your dash. First combo is your bread and butter, something that you should be doing almost every time you get into an encounter if given the chance. Spear dash, spear dash. This does 250 damage exactly and is enough to have a out at 75 HP hero. I will say, if anything that you are attacking gets healed during this combo, it will not do to kill any 250 HP characters. Rocket self-healing, Mantis self-healing, Cloak Bubble, any kind of Atom ability, any kind of healing will just immediately force you to do like a kick or something else. So, what do you do when that happens? Well, you take it up a notch. Spear dash, spear dash, dash. This one leaves you without a dash, but your kick is still there, so in case you have a need, you can always leave. Now, one thing that you can do, I do this a lot. Sometimes, if I don't want to risk missing it, I will spear dash, kick. And that leaves me with a dash. I find that sometimes that can be better than your kick. An example would be if you end up finishing off someone and you are in a crowd. Doing this, look at the startup time. It is incredibly easy. This main kick is very slow. The only plus side is that if you kick, you could go around the corners, unlike a dash, which you are locked to. Next up, you might see this combo a lot, especially online, like Twitter, is spear, spear, dash, dash. That does 250 damage exactly, but in a much different way. Now, the time to kill for using that spear, spear, dash, dash combo is a lot faster. The main reason is client-side stuff. I brought up every so often, is good, right, guys? And there's some support getting hit by that combo. I will say, yes, this combo is fast. From a client-side perspective, there's going to be a little bit of a delay. If you've seen in replays, someone might be hitting you when their crosshair isn't even on you. Like, they're delayed backwards, but they're hitting you when you were there. And so that's sort of the thing. With Panther being such a very fast kind of character, like his dash, that could kind of add up when your brain is trying to process everything. So yeah, it's faster, but again, spear dash leaves you with a dash and your kick. But doing spear, spear, dash, dash, yeah, that is very fast, but you don't have your dash anymore. It's only really used for those times when you really need to secure a kill. Next up, we have his ultimate. Black Panther's ultimate is, a lot of people say, it's shit. And it is bad. It's a very bad ultimate if you don't know what the hell you're doing. If you understand how to use his ultimate, it is actually pretty good. just using it off the rip,
Tremble before fast!
it's barely getting a half of a 250 HP unit. But you see there, like I said in the beginning, it adds a Vibranium Mark, which allows you to dash into it, refresh, 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 refresh. Like, imagine those were 4 people instead of 2 Lunas. So doing that, refresh, 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 refresh,
You are not blessed.
refresh, refresh. That's like 6 people you
We are
got.
in the front. Prepare yourself.
These, you really want to use this on those big crowd moments. Say you're diving to supports. If you don't get them, you could try. Like, if you bait out all their like big abilities, you can use this. If you're able to get all the Loki lamps out of the way, cloak ball down, all that stuff, you could use this. But what I like to do is I like to usually save this for those moments where a lot of people are like stuck together. Like there's a DPS near the 2 supports, I'm dashing, stuff like that, getting everything, and
Tremble
then
before fast!
get all
I
that
am
stuff.
your king now.
That is my recommendation for using Black Panther's ultimate. Again, you really have to understand that this is not like other ultimates. This is not a Punisher ultimate, not a Star-Lord ultimate. This is not a Magneto ultimate, not anything that is just going to do big damage to whoever you send it on. This is something that you want to use more as a utility. Think of everything except for the dash as a utility in Black Panther's kit. Your dash is your main form of damage, as well as your claws, but the main thing is going to be your dash. So, let's talk about Black Panther's counters. We'll be going through top to bottom with this, starting off with the man himself, the Thing. So, the Thing has 2 ways to kind of get in Black Panther's face. First off is his brand new move, where he can jump to an enemy at the same time charging up his big little haymaker move right there. Another is a very popular one is to just do this. When you're in this radius getting hit by that, you are earthbound. When you are earthbound as Black Panther, you can't use any movement abilities. Your kick, your dash, your double jump, all of it's gone. You are basically just walking. And if you're just walking, you might as well just be a free kill, because at that point, all they can do is just beat you a couple times. Anyone who sees a Black Panther who's earthbound, that's basically just a free kill. That's more stats for you. So, I'll just tell you this flat out. The Thing is a hard counter to Black Panther. And to most dives, actually. But Black Panther being the most punishing. If, for whatever reason, you end up getting earthbound by the Thing, it is a very slim chance that you will actually make it out of that. Because he will typically go for the very center of the earthbound, and as long as you're in that radius of it, you are going to be, like, from here all the way to here. You're basically fucked. Unless he misses, there's not much you could do. What I would say though is avoid this. So my tips for encountering a Thing who's really into peeling for his supports and going for dives is be cautious and do not overstay your visit whenever you are diving. If you know that there is a Thing who's actively engaged in the front line, that's a perfect chance to dive. That's a very perfect chance, because now he has to leave the other tank, or he has to stop being a solo tank and allow the front line to take space while you cause problems. Even if a solo tank Thing, if you could get him to peel back for you, that's a win. They just lost space and they're that much closer. They lost to Black Panther, so what? you just gave your team free space. Another thing that you should worry about is obviously this being able to jump to you. A Black Panther who doesn't have his dash anymore, I think, can easily run towards him and then use his jump and big haymaker move to close the distance, and yeah. So, like I said, my only real advice for going against the Thing is to be cautious, don't overstay your visit, and when you see him running towards you, exit. He can't do much besides try and jump at you, and even then, you could still use your wall climb if he wasted his dash to try and get to you. Next up, we have Emma Frost. Emma Frost is not as big as a counter as Thing is. The only thing that you need to be worried about, really, is when she grabs someone. Yeah, you can do a lot of damage to you if she's able to grab you. Another thing can be her shields. These could block off any kinds of spear damage or dashes. If, say, like Emma's could play around her shield, so she can basically move him anywhere she wants. And that's what makes her so good. She's not prone to just having one shield go out at a time. She's able to play around a sort of cover. But we're not talking about how good Emma is as a tank. We're talking about her counters. You know, like I said, once you hear that impervious come out, you know there's only going to be a few chances before you get your ass beat by a Emma. And chances are she's going to try and kick you into the wall. So yeah, you're going to get your health pretty low. I will say Emma is not as big as a problem as a Thing would be. But again, getting grabbed by Emma is almost certain death. So once you see that Emma, once you hear that impervious, you're going to want to start thinking of an exit plan. And if she's near you, you're going to want to dash. If you have your dash, use it. Your kick will be too slow and she will grab you. Do not be afraid to use your dash as a means of escape. Living and being able to dive again is perfectly fine. Being able to wait just 10 seconds rather than having to walk all the way back, maybe use your dash to get somewhere else to get there quicker, all their stuff, it's much better to just use it and wait the 10 seconds. So, like I said with Thing, don't try and overstay her visit. Don't be as cautious, but definitely be cautious once you hear her activate her diamond form. This isn't really a counter. These are more so how to deal with. Flyers are going to be pretty difficult to deal with as a dive hero, especially as Black Panther. Since they're going to be up in the air, your spears aren't really going to be able to be consistent as they are with ground enemies. So here's a couple things that you want to look for. When dives are playing near cover, such like this, not dives, when flyers are playing near cover, kind of like this, where they're sort of just like, you know, shooting around, you have a chance to throw a spear at, say, this column and get them marked. If you dash through them, they're gonna try and look for you, maybe go like up here. If you climb up a wall and kick them, that's another mark, dash through them again, that's them dead. Or you could do this, where if you get your kick and dash off of them, that does a lot of damage. They're gonna start going near the ground, trying to get some health, stuff like that. Once they're flying near a health pack, then try and throw your spear at them and then dash at them. That's almost a perfect kill every single time. So make sure you keep that in mind. Most flyers who are more crowd control based and pokey, say Iron Man and Human Torch, will be a little bit more difficult to deal with. Enemies like Ultron or Storm, those kinds of flyers will not be as difficult because they're going to be near the front lines more often, and they don't have the luxury of being so far back or in an odd position like Iron Man and Human Torch. Next up we have Hela. Hela is not very much a counter, but a Hela who knows that a Black Panther is there and is near her supports can be a bit of a pain, all thanks to her E move. As you can see, that brings that Luna Snow in, and not only does it bring them in, but it also CCs them, which causes your dash to get completely refreshed. So say you're dashing and you get that, your dash is gone. It doesn't matter if someone was marked. If you didn't hit them with your dash before you guys CC'd, it's gone. Now you only have your E, and that's a pretty easy way to get hit by a Hela. So, that being said, what do you do as a Black Panther who's going after a Hela? Well, this is what I do. Spear dash, I sort of wait a bit, try and run at them. Usually, if they don't fly up in the air with their flock, they'll use your E, you'll go in a bit, then you spear dash them. And that should kill them if there isn't any kind of, healing that's going on with them. If there is, you might have to add like another dash to the mix, but besides that, it should be good. The same applies to Namor. Namor really only has his Monstros and his Shift. His Shift only lasts him 3 seconds in the air, and after that, he's as good as dead. He can't do much else but try and throw his spears at you. And since you're so fast, a Namor won't really know where to look around to try and throw a spear at you. So if you just bait out his, his Shift, all he has is his Monstros, and even then, these aren't very healthy. Now, a Gamma Monstro is gonna be a lot more of a problem. When it comes to Gamma Monstros, you're really gonna wanna depend on your teammates taking them out say a Star-Lord, a Hela, a Punisher, maybe a Groot, some of the supports like a Luna Snow or an Atom if they had the chance to shoot at it, stuff like that. You're going to want to try and have your other teammates go for that Gamma Monstro, because it's not enough to where if he throws it, most good Namors will throw their Monstros in more odd positions, such as on the wall, or say this is a choke point, they'll start throwing them over here, so they'll see that they're getting hit, they'll have to turn around, that's damage to them from the back, not getting shielded, more chaos, stuff like that. Because of that, you don't really have the luxury, your spears don't do a lot of damage to Monstros anyway, so keep that in mind.
Enemy approaches.
Now that we've gone over counters, let's talk about some matchups relating to Black Panther. On the screen right now, I have a tier list of sort of your priority targets. The first tier is priority, which is who you should be going for. And I'm going to just say this flat out. This is not a, oh, go for this person, and this person, and this person, and this person. No. What this basically is if given the choice between this hero and this hero, you're going to want to go for the people higher on the tier list. Now, priority and secondary are ordered, the rest are sort of fair play. So, as you can see, priority is mostly supports. Secondary is more people, so if you have all the supports done and you have the priority done, there's no one there, you go for them. Tertiary, after secondary. Cleanup, you go for them. Then 1v6 is basically when there's no one else. Luna and the Thing, who are more tanky and have a better way of dealing with a Black Panther than other characters do. So again, this isn't really a go for them and them only. When given the opportunity between, okay, I have to die, I could dive this guy or I could dive this guy, who do I go for? You're going to want to go for the people on this list as sort of priority. Now, this isn't perfect. Every Black Panther will probably have a different priority, but based on my own personal preferences and how I like to play, and just flat out the value that some of these characters will give for their team when they're still alive, you should definitely use this as sort of a baseline to determine who are your priority characters, who are you going to be going for primarily in your dives. And yeah, that's about it. I don't have much else to say about Black Panther. He's not really the most difficult to learn, but his skill ceiling is very high, so I would say he's definitely easy to learn, very difficult to master. But with this guide, even though you probably won't get all of it immediately, using this as a guide for you to understand the sort of principles of Black Panther will definitely skyrocket your playability to a higher level, and you won't be called out for being negative whenever you try and play Black Panther. I'd also suggest going in practice versus AI for a little bit, just to see if you get some of these down before hopping into a real match. That's just a preference, that's usually what I like to do whenever I pick up a new character, go against practice versus AI on hard difficulty, just goof around, learn the mechanics, learn how I'd like to play this guy, and then start going against actual players. Usually I only do this for 1 or 2 matches, but that's just me. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and see you later.